Okay, first of all, do you guys have the ability to take some notes? Okay, perfect, perfect. Because I've created a few tasks. They're very simple, but I would love for you to just reflect upon them at the end of this call or by the end of this evening, whenever you have time. But I truly believe that these questions can help you grow a lot as a person and figure out more about why you're doing this, etc. So let me just share my screen and I'm just going to jump right into it. Can you see my screen now? Oh, but I can't see you. Can you type in the chat? Okay, okay. Well, I'm hoping that you can see my screen. So these calls that we host every Tuesday is for you to kind of level up. So today we're going to go through a few life skills because you rarely learn anything about life at school or even growing up. You kind of have to figure that stuff out by yourself. So I've made a slide just for that. It's a few life skills that I've collected from listening to the top earners in this company, our leaders, our biggest team leaders, from recordings I've listened to, and stuff that really just makes sense to me, and stuff that I've been implementing myself. So I hope that you can get some use of that. And then I've also created a business skill slide for you to kind of level up in your business as well. I really hope that you find some value from that. And at the end, I've just included a small slide where I talk about the power of Sage Master and really what you should be focusing on, because when it comes to Sage Master, there is a lot you could do. And I really just want you to learn to direct your focus on the stuff that matters, and just so that your focus is on the right place, because wherever focus goes, energy flows, and whatever you focus on, that's what will grow. Um, so I'm hoping that this will kind of direct your focus on the right things. I'm hoping that you will walk away from this call and you'll have a bit more clarity on what to do next. And hopefully you'll have some kind of aha moment today. So first of all, when it comes to life skills, this is all these keynotes that you see on these slides are stuff that you don't learn in school. You don't learn this kind of stuff growing up. You kind of have to figure this out on your own. Of course, if you've read a few books, if you've talked to people that have actually had a lot of success in life, this is natural. This is a natural topic for them because there is a code that you have to crack in order to level up in your life, in order to achieve the success that you want to achieve. You have to understand a few life skills and you have to develop them and you have to become aware of them. So the first one that I thought of was really attitude. Your attitude is literally what determines the outcome. So when you have a good attitude towards life, it will be reflected back to you. Um, which means that if you think that something is hard, it will be hard. If you kind of reprogram your mind until to think that it's easy, it will be easy. And your attitude, for example, Earl Nightingale talks a lot about attitude. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but I've listened to him a lot. There's a recording on YouTube called Attitude. I think actually the magic word, which is attitude, because your attitude determines the outcome. So he was talking about this restaurateur, and he had asked him, "When did you know that you were successful?" And he answered, "I was successful when I was sleeping on park benches because I knew what I wanted to do and that I would do it." So your attitude really determines the direction that you go in. If your attitude is filled with certainty that you know where you are going and you know that you will accomplish it, guess what? You will accomplish it. So your attitude is so, so important when it comes to achieving success in this business, when it comes to even achieving success with Sage Master, if you have a good attitude towards life and the things that you spend time on, guess what? Life will become effortless to you. So I also had this keyword called focused energy. Like I said, where focus goes, energy flows. We all know that everything is energy. You can't see it, but we know it. So what you focus on, that is exactly what will grow. So it's really important just to focus your energy on the right things. So I have a few hacks on how to do that. I will get back to that later. But focused energy. And then you also have action. So whatever action you take on your day-to-day life is what will create your future. So whatever you choose to do with your time is what will create your future. So focus, energy, and action is really huge keywords when it comes to life skills. And then we also have, I don't know if you've heard about this term, but you have the 3D and you have the 5D. It's basically different levels of consciousness. And 3D is basically the reality that you can see, that you can touch, that you can smell, that you can, like, this is everything you see around yourself. That's the 3D realm. Then you also have the 5D realm, which is the stuff that you cannot see. It's the energy. Um, so it's kind of, how do you still keep a positive mindset? How do you still keep your consciousness high enough when your reality does not match where you are going? That's the hard part. That's a life skill that we have to figure out. Um, but it's basically just staying in a high vibration and keeping your thoughts on the right things, even though your 3D reality does not match where you want to go. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I really hope so. And then I've also written that your outer world is just a reflection of your inner world. So whenever there is chaos in your reality, maybe there's chaos on your inside. So you have to spend time with yourself. You really have to connect with yourself because your reality always tells you about what's going on inside of you. Um, then I also wrote thoughts plus inspired action is like manifestation. So we all know that thoughts develop into things. Through inspired action, you can actually manifest the life that you want. So let's say you visualize and you think of the dream life that you want to create. Okay, if you combine those kind of thoughts and your main thoughts and the most thoughts that you have are directed towards the things that you do want, and you keep on taking inspired action towards it every single day, guess what? It will manifest, but it does not happen overnight. You really have to dominate your thoughts with the things that you want to manifest itself, and then you have to take inspired action towards it in order for it to come to fruition. So that's a really simple way of how manifestation works. But it does take a lot of patience. Whatever you want to accomplish in life, it takes patience. And at the end of patience, there comes experience. So when you've been patient for long enough, you will be able to experience what you want to experience. But the funny thing about patience, most people, they lose patience right before they're about to accomplish whatever they're trying to accomplish. So just have that in mind next time you feel like giving up. Just have that in mind next time you feel like not keep on going. Most people give up right before it happens. So you just gotta stay patient and keep on going. And then I don't know if you've studied the word mindset before. Mindset. What is a mindset? I don't know if you've studied it, but if you divide it in two, you have mind, set. Your mind is set. So mindset really means that you have set your mind on something. This could be a goal. This could be something you want to become. This can be whatever you wish to achieve, but your mind is set on it. There is no there is no shaking that decision of yours. This is what you are going to accomplish. That's mindset. And that's what you want to develop. You want to get so secure in what you wish to achieve. There is nothing literally stopping you from doing exactly that. And when it comes to growth, I don't know if you've heard this before. It's very interesting studying words. I don't know if you've studied words before, but it's very interesting because if you just listen to this, in order to get a new person reality, you have to change your personality. Does that make any sense? So if you want to have a different life that you have today, you have to change first. You have to change your personality. You have to change your identity. You have to change something about you in order to get another reality. In order to in order to get something different, you have to do something different. You have to move differently. You have to think differently. You have to speak differently. You have to walk differently. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, then you have abundance versus lack. You have the free will of choice. You can always choose. And your mind cannot hold two thoughts at a time. It can only have one thought. So you can choose to think in abundance rather than thinking in lack. And I know it's so much easier said than done, but you have a choice every single day, every single second, every single minute. Like you can choose. Whenever you feel your mind being directed towards what you lack, try to flip it over and try to think of all the things that you do have, everything that you have accomplished, everything that you are. Just try to flip it over. Whatever negative you have in your life, just flip it over to the positive and focus on that. And that is what will grow. And then you also have belief versus fear. Like everything has an opposite. I don't know if you noticed that as well. There would be no dark without light. There would be no up without down. Like you cannot mess with that. That's just how it is. Everything has an opposite. So whenever you're experiencing something negative, there is also something positive to it. You just have to figure it out. You just have to find out what that one positive thing is. And that is what you choose to focus on. So when it comes to belief versus fear, we're human. We're going to feel fear. And what we don't know, we fear. It's just natural for us to fear something, just to fear whatever we don't know. So you cannot escape fear, but you can dim it down by increasing your belief. You can gain belief on focusing what has gone right, what feels right, and what makes it right to you. So you can just increase your belief to eliminate the fear. And when it comes to growth as well, you have to get out of your comfort zone in order to grow. Because, like I said, you have to change your personality to get a different person reality. And you do this by stepping out of your comfort zone, doing something that you've never done before, because you grow in that way. It's like a rubber band, like you're in this circle. You want to stretch it and you want to keep on stretching it until it expands. And suddenly your life is completely different. So when it comes to the comfort zone, just make sure that you keep on pushing yourself out of it. It's very important if you intend to accomplish something great in life, you have to get out of your comfort zone. It's really it's a dream killer. And then we also have gratitude. I've like gratitude, there is no higher state of being than being grateful. And it does not have to be the biggest things. You don't have to experience something huge in your life to be grateful, but you can be grateful for this exact moment. You can be grateful that you have a roof over your head. You can be grateful that you've got the chance that you came in contact with this opportunity. There's so many things that you can be grateful for. So sometimes during the day, just stop what you're doing and just sit with yourself and be grateful for what you have right now. Because when you do that, you're focusing your energy on what you do have versus what you lack. But I'm sure you already know this. And then we have be you. This is a really good one. So a lot of us struggle with comparing us to other people. We try to be something that we're not. But the key is actually the more you connect with yourself and the more you stand in your true self and in your truth, just being authentically, just being you, that is what will attract abundance to you. Trust me. So I already said this: walk, talk, think, and act like the person you want to become. I'm not saying it's a different person. I'm saying be you, but there is always a greater version of yourself out there that can be, like, you can always improve yourself in some way or another, in the way you walk, in the way you talk, in the way you think, and in the way you act. And then you have connect with yourself. So, like I said, the outer world is just a reflection of your inner world. That's why it's so important that you actually take the time to connect with yourself. I like to meditate for 10 minutes once I wake up in the morning just to set the intention for the day. And being intentional with what you do is so much more, what's it called in English? It has a lot to say from the outcome. So, one more thing, be cautious of what you feed your mind. Most people, they listen to news and they're not careful. They scroll on social media. They're not careful about what they actually feed your mind, because your mind is working 24/7. You have your conscious mind, which is your thinking mind, and then you have your unconscious mind, which is your emotional mind. And the unconscious mind is working 24/7. It listens to everything that is in your environment, everything that goes through your ears. So just be cautious of what you feed your mind, because throughout the years, we've been fed so much negativity, so many limiting beliefs, and we kind of have to, it's up to us to reprogram that. So just be cautious of what you feed your mind. And I truly recommend at least spending some time every single day listening to something that will develop you as a person, listening to people who have made it. Because repetition is really key. Repetition is key to creating change. So it's you versus you. I don't know. The life. It's just you versus you. You have to fight your own demons. Like, you are your own worst enemy. And I mean that by you, all of us have habits that are holding us back from achieving our goal. All of us have thoughts that are limiting us to becoming more. So it's always you versus you. You always have to work on yourself to become better. There are versions of you that you literally have to slay in order to get to the next level. So figure out what kind of habits you have that are not serving you. How do you talk to yourself? What thoughts do you think? Are they positive? Are they negative? And then, I mean, directed towards you. So your habits actually dictate your future. You are where you are today because of the choices you've made earlier. And that all goes down to habits. Like, map out your habits and map out which one serves you and do not serves you. Which one can you cut out that don't align with the person you're trying to become, and which do align with the person you're trying to become. So then we also have overcoming difficulty, because the same wind blows on us all. We all go through stuff in life. It's life. And we have to figure out a way to balance life with this opportunity and how to keep the abundance mindset stronger than what is happening in our reality. Because stuff happens. We get caught up in life. And we have to overcome these difficulties with a smile, with a good attitude. Like everything always works out for me. That's the way you have to think. Of course, that's also easier said than done, but practice makes perfect. You just have to be aware of it. And that's what these life skills are about. It's about increasing your awareness to what do I have to change and where can I actually become better. So when it comes to overcoming difficulty, I would say it all comes down to your attitude. Like, no matter what happens, what's your attitude? My attitude is everything always works out for me. And I hope you are able to develop some kind of attitude that you have to find your own attitude that works for you. And then you also have your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Your mind is your most valuable, most powerful tool. It works 24/7. And it your mind is so strong and it impacts your life more than you can even imagine. But your mind has to be stronger than your feelings because we are emotional beings. We have a lot of feelings, but we have to discipline our negative feelings. And the positive feelings, we can let them flourish, but your mindset has to be stronger than your feelings. And you have to learn how to win in your mind before you can win in life. That was a big one for me. You have to win in your mind before you can actually win in life. So if you're not there yet, you've got some work to do. I recommend sitting down with a pen and paper, figuring out where where is my mindset lacking? What kind of negative beliefs do I have? What kind of self-talk do I have? And then flip it over because everything has an opposite. And then we have ups and downs. There will be ups and downs no matter what you do. That's just life. And that's the experience that we are put on this earth to kind of win our way through. Life is just a series of ups and downs, and you're here to learn and experience every single part of them. But then there's balancing this business and this opportunity with the ups and downs. You just have to figure out what works for you, if that makes any sense. Then we also have repetition, and consistency is key. Repetition. Just repeat this, repeat it over and over and over again until you can memorize it and you suddenly have a regular conversation and words just pop out of your mouth. You don't even know where it comes from, but you've picked it up somewhere. That's really when you see the magic working. So repetition, repeat the good things, repeat the things that you want to change. And then consistency. I look at consistency is if you fall off the horse, as long as you get back up, that's consistency. You fall back off, you get back up. That's consistency. Life is ups and downs. We're gonna fall off the horse many times. We just always have to make sure that we get back up. Because this will be a compound effect. All the small things that you do to become better, all the small things that you do when it comes to all the habits, all your habits have compounded and has created the life that you have today. So that was kind of the life skills that I thought was the most important ones of them all. If you understand this and if you're able to master this, I'm pretty sure you win in life. Then we also have a task. I thought this was extremely interesting. So I really want you to get a piece of paper and or take a screenshot or something, but take a minute just to screenshot this or write it down. But it's a task that I really want you to go through. First of all, What don't you like about your current life? Just think about it for a few minutes. And I would go multiple levels deep on that questions. Like, why don't I like that? Why is this not good for me? Etc. And then you have question number 2. What do you tolerate on a daily basis that does not serve you? The third question, who do you want to become and why haven't you yet? What's holding you back? What is stopping you? And then this question is very interesting. Are you manifesting by design or by default? So the difference here is your life your own creation? It is your own creation either way, but you have intentional creation and you have default. Because we're all made of energy and we're vibrating 24/7. We're attracting stuff to us 24/7. And you have the ability to actually design what you are attracting by changing the vibration that you are on. So, rather you are aware of what kind of vibration you are on your day-to-day life, or if it's intentional, you're either manifesting by design or default. And this is where you have to change your personality to get a different reality. I really hope this makes sense. But I will post this presentation in the group afterwards so you can have a look at it and take down notes. But I'm going to go to the next slide, which is business skills to go to the next level. So this is literally what I wish I knew when I started with network marketing. So first of all, you have to know what network marketing is. Network marketing is basically just promoting something that you love, introducing it to people that you love, and getting paid for it. It's that simple. It's the same as if you go to your favorite restaurant. You go to your favorite restaurant and you have the best meal ever. What do you do after you've had that meal? You go, you tell your mom, you tell your sister, you tell your friends, you have to go and eat there. Guess what you just did? You just promoted that restaurant, but without you getting paid for it. But network marketing, you have the ability to promote a product or a service that you've been using yourself and that you fell in love with. So now you have the possibility to promote it and to introduce it to other people that you care about. You want to show this to them because it's so good, but you also get paid for it. So that's network marketing in a very simple way. But then we also have what is the difference between network marketing and traditional marketing. So when it comes to traditional marketing, you know that companies spend millions on advertisement. If you ask me, that's a waste of money. They spend millions of dollars on advertisements. You know what network marketing companies do? They pay people, normal people, just like you and I, millions for promoting their products and services. So instead of them using a whole bunch of money on advertisement, they spend a whole bunch of money to pay out to people like you and I who promote this, who decided to build our own business around this. Okay, so that was network marketing versus traditional marketing. And then we also have the different ways that you can do this business. Now, I don't know if you've heard about this before, but I want to introduce you to a few different words and I want you to understand them so you can kind of use them to find your own way of building this business because there are so many ways. And these are a few terms that I really wish for you to just be aware of, know them. So you have action marketing versus attraction marketing. So attraction marketing is when you're scrolling on Instagram and you see all these videos of influencers, they're promoting something. Um, that's attraction marketing. You post something, even it's a story, if it's a post, whatever, but you are promoting something through your own social medias and you're promoting it and you are attracting people who are curious about what you are promoting. And this is a way of doing network marketing. You can do attraction marketing. And then you have action marketing. Action marketing is basically you reaching out to people. I hope you understood the differences. I just want you to be aware that in the beginning, starting your career, you always have to do action marketing. You have to reach out to people first. Because in the beginning, you don't have a huge follower base, you don't have a huge brand for yourself. Attraction marketing is something you can do on the side to build up something long term. Because attraction marketing built up, it's a long term game, but built up over time, over 2, 3 years span of time, you can attract a lot of new customers that way. But in the beginning, you always do action marketing on the side. Action marketing is number one. You do the reach outs, but you can also use attraction marketing. You can build something up through that as well. And then you have the warm market and you have the cold market. So the warm market is people that you love. It's people you care about. It's your friends, it's your family. It's people that you have in your inner circle. That's people that already know you. It's people that already trust you. The relationship is already built. That's your warm market. But then you also have the cold market. And the cold market is people that you don't know. It's people that you don't know. And there are more people that you don't know than you do know. So there you have the warm market versus the cold market. And I really recommend you start with the warm market before you move to the cold market. And then you have the direct approach versus the indirect approach. So when you're reaching out to the cold market, you can either use a direct approach or you can use an indirect approach. So a direct approach you'd be direct. In the first message you send out, you intentionally already mentioned the business. You already mentioned the opportunity. You already mentioned that I have something, I want you to have a look at it. That is the direct approach. Then you have the indirect approach. This is where you're reaching out to them and you basically build a relationship first. So in the first conversation, the first few messages that you have, they're based upon just getting to know each other. And then you'd be like, hey, you know what? I really like you. I really want to show you something. Would you have time tomorrow? Etc. That would be the indirect way. So when you go through networks, you have your warm market and you have your cold market. When people decline your offer or when people say, no, I don't think it's not for me, basically, they tell you no. Okay, but you're a networker. You work yourself way through networks. So you ask them, okay, but who do you know? I'm serious about this business. I really want to find the right people to do this with. Who do you know this could be something for? Who do you know this could be interesting for? Do you know anyone in your area that might be interested in this? So always ask people, who do you know then? And then we also have both times when I accomplished the rank of consultant in this company and the rank of Sapphire in this company, it was really a month where I went all in. It's funny, I recently realized this. In order to accomplish something here, in order to accomplish the next level, the next goal, the next rank, whatever you wish to achieve, you have to go all in for that month. You have to go all in for that time being. And I always tried, as a as a woman, I love balance. I love balance. I love to take care of myself. I want to make sure I'm energized and that I have time for me. So I always try to figure out this balance between working and between prioritizing myself, my health, my mental health, etc. But I came to the conclusion that if you want to achieve your next goal, you cannot have balance. I'm sorry, but there is no thing such as balance if you want to achieve your goal. You have to go all in. It has to be focused energy. You have to be focused. You have to do as much as you're able to do, and you have to do just a little extra than what you feel like doing. Just a little extra. Just one more message, one more call, one more meeting, just a little extra, just go a little further. That's all in. And going all in, it's simply just a decision too. When I hit Sapphire, for example, I made the decision like it's now or never. I am going to make it. I had the attitude that I am going to make it now. So no matter how it looked like, I was like, I don't look at that. I'm going to achieve my goal. That's the attitude you have to have, and it's a decision. Most people spend so much time just making a decision. That's our biggest problem. We spend so much time just making the decision. So I also want to say you got to trust the process. It is a process. We all have a process that we have to go through. There are certain things that you have to experience. There are certain skill sets you have to learn. There are certain experiences you have to go through in order to go to the next level. It's a process. Everybody has their own process, and you have to trust it. You have to trust that you are on the right path. And guess what? When you do trust that what you are on the right path, guess what? You'll be on the right path. That's how the mind works. So trust the process and please give yourself time to grow. Give yourself, you got to be patient with yourself because everybody is paying a price. The most successful people, even the sapphires, even the rubies, even the people who are making 100K a month in this business, like everybody has gone through a process and everybody has paid some kind of price in order to get there. Even if it was working 12 hours a day, if it was sacrificing time with their family, if it was saying no to parties, if it was saying no to family dinners, whatever, but everybody had to sacrifice something, and that's the price of success. Of course, the bigger success you want to achieve, the higher the price is, but there is always something you have to sacrifice in order to get to the next goal. There's always something. It's called paying the price. You have to pay the price, and you have to figure out what kind of price you have to pay in order to get there. And then, oh, I'm sorry, it's gone 45 minutes. Just give me, I'm soon done. I hope you get some value from this. And then there is always show up on every single call. I don't care. I don't care what you got to do, but you got to be there. You got to be on every single call because that's where you get the energy. That's where repetition happens. That's where you learn. That's where you grow. That's where you feed off that kind of energy. That's where you build your confidence and your security in what you do. So attending every event, every Zoom call, every meeting, whatever, just attend everything that you can. I always say the number one reason why I'm still here, why I made it to a full-time income is because I always show up. I always showed up on everything that I could, even if it was an event, if it was a team trip, if it was a Zoom call, whatever, I was always there. And then it's also activity, staying active on Telegram. That is where your business is. That's where your team is. being active in the groups and participating in the team chats, writing stuff. It gives you energy. It might sound stupid. You might think it's stupid. You might even be uncomfortable, but you have to take your part in that environment because that environment will fuel you. So be active, check the groups, keep yourself updated. And then you, all of you, have a future version of yourself that you are trying to become. Even if it's, I don't know how big of a dream you have or how big of a transformation you want to have. I don't know what you want to become, but show her that you are serious about your goal. Show her that you are serious about your goal. So, our job as network marketers is very simple. It's helping people and build momentum. Momentum is energy. We got to build it. At first, it won't be natural. That's why I'm saying start being active in the Zoom chat. Start being active in the groups because that's how you create energy. And then you create momentum. And momentum creates a breakthrough. When you get a breakthrough, you go to the next level. So our job is helping people and building momentum. And then I've written 2 a day keeps the 9 to 5 a day away. 2 a day keeps the 9 to 5 away. So if you talk to two new people every single day about even if it's Sage Master or the business, whatever, two people a day, it only takes you 20, 30, 15 minutes to talk to two people. And then you keep the 9 to 5 away. That's all it takes. It's like, of course, do more if you feel like it, but minimum 2 a day. And then at some point, you want your goal to be 2 calls a day. That's when you start to level up, when you have 2 calls a day. So in the beginning, you don't know how to do this. It's scary. You have no idea what you're even doing. I remember that feeling. None of us knew what we were doing in the beginning. We were just doing it, and then you learned it, and then you became better, and then it became fun, and then you start to crack some codes, and then your vision expands, and then life seems great, and then comes a down, and then it goes back up, but you will find your way. You just have to be patient enough and do it long enough to to get to the point where you found your way of building this business. Because what works for me might not work for you. You have to find your way of building the business. It took me 1.5 years. It took me 1.5 years to figure out my way of building this business until I felt like, wow, I actually found out how to build this business. It took me 1.5 years. So you have to be patient enough and you have to be patient enough to get to that point where you understand your way of building the business. So your job is helping people build their own team. That's when you start something up, helping them doing the same as you are now, starting them up, launching their own business. You basically just help them build their own team, help them find their people to do it with. And then you do not have to be good to start. You don't have to be good to start, but you have to start to become good. So do not let fear hold you back. Not at all. Fail forward because your experiences make you valuable. So when it comes to I've written calendar, I really want you, ladies, to get your own calendar. Google Calendar works wonderfully. But I want you to write down, I want you to schedule the calls that you are planning to do. If you do not have anything scheduled in your calendar, you want to get to that point where you have things scheduled in your calendar. There was a quote from Eric Worre, let me, show me your calendar and I'll show you your future. It's very simple. Start using a calendar. Start scheduling stuff because you are building an organization. So be organized. So when you talk to people, yeah, when you talk to people, you have to position your product. So you have to talk about Sage Master like it's worth $10,000. That's how highly you have to talk about it, because if you really position your product well, it will be easy. The rest of the job is done. If you just talk about Sage Master in a very highly way, the rest will be easy. Talk about it like it's worth $10,000. Then the rest will be easy. And when you talk to people and you invite them to a call or whatever, you just have to say, no, you don't understand. You have to be there. Be serious about this. This is your life and this is their life that you're talking about. If you're lucky, you can literally change someone's life. This company has the most top earners in the industry. I will send you the link in the girls chat afterwards, but if you look it up on Business for Home, search the company and have a look yourself. There are so many success stories in this company, and the products and services are great. Just remember, you are building your organization. You're not building mine. You're not building your uplines. You are building your organization. Okay, we're almost at the end. So we have when you are deciding to accomplish something huge in this business, when you decide to build a huge business, or I don't know what your dream is, if it's just an extra income, do not think about this. But if you want to earn from, let's say, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, 5,000 and up, you have to step in the leadership role. So you can either be a leader in this business or you can be a follower. And being a follower, there's nothing wrong being a follower. Every leader was a follower. But then comes a point, if you really want to go to the next level and make more than just a side income, you really have to develop some kind of leadership skills. And that's simply just standing in your power and leading people onto the right way, helping people. So you have leader versus follower. And then I just want to say this is a relationship business. It's not sales. That's why I love it. Yeah, your job is basically to become friends with people. Turn strangers into friends and friends into family and build trust. If they trust you, they will buy from you. It's very simple. Build the relationship first. Okay, soon there. Okay, one more task before you go. Write this down or take a screenshot. This is the most important task that you will receive ever, ever. You have to figure out why you are doing this. You have to figure out, why is this so important to you? Why is that goal so important to you? Why is that income so important to you? Why is it a must for you? So I want you to go 7 levels deep. Why? Figure out your why. Because the stronger your why is, the longer you will last in this business. If your why is weak, you won't last long. So I would really spend some time figuring out why this is important to you. And then I want you to find your number. If you talk to 10 people, how many people do you get on a call? How many people sign up, etc. Find your number. Do some what's it called? Research, organizing. Find your number. Figure out how many people you have to talk to in order to get one. Because if you know how many people you have to talk to in order to get one person, you know how to scale your business. You know how to go next level. I then also create a prospect list. Create a list of all the people you've talked to. And then on the side, write if they're interested, not now, etc. But always follow up with people. Keep on building that relationship, but do not waste your energy. You have to learn to tell when someone is worth spending time on or not, especially as a woman. But remember to follow up with people and be a human first before you're a network marketer. Human first, but create a prospect list. Write down all the names of the people that you are talking to, that you have talked to. And then on the side, just write a little note how it went, what their thoughts are, if they're interested, if not, etc. And then please create, go to what's it called? Is it reminders on the, yep, reminders on your phone. And then create another list called weekly wins. Every week, I don't care, choose a day, sit down with yourself and count your wins. Stuff that you accomplished this week, stuff that you felt good about this week, and write it down. And when you have a bad period, when you have a bad week, a bad day, you can go back to that weekly wins list and you can look at how much you've actually accomplished because we tend to forget the stuff that we do accomplish and we always remember what we failed at. So this is such a great way to keep you in a state of gratitude, to keep you in a state where you can actually see your progress. So create a list for weekly wins, create a list for golden nuggets. Such a weird name, but we got it from the one mentor of ours. But he called it the golden nuggets, and that's where you kind of write down aha moments, stuff that just makes sense, stuff that you need to remember, you want to remember. Okay, and then write a focus list, stuff that you want to focus on. So, for example, I have focused on becoming my best possible version. Focus on, let's see, so I can give you a few examples. Becoming my best self, building a community, meditation, think long-term success over short-time pleasure, etc. Stuff that you want to focus on. So you have a list of the stuff that are important to you. And then last but not least, I want you to study some just here and there. Take 20 minutes just to have a look at a video from people who have actually accomplished success in this industry, like Fraser Brooks. I love Fraser Brooks. He's such a genuine man. He's amazing. You have Eric Worre. He's a network marketer pro. He's great as well. And then you have Jim Rohn, an older man. I don't think he's not with us anymore, but he has a lot of great content when it comes to network marketing. And it's all about being cautious of what you feed your brain. I also love to listen to audiobooks as much as possible when I'm cleaning, when I'm working out, when I'm driving, whenever, just so I keep on feeding my brain the right information so I can actually grow as a person. I have two more slides, but I will save them for next Tuesday because I know there is a Sage Monster Q&A call right now. So let's do it next Tuesday. And then I'll add some more to it. But it was very nice to have you here. And I really hope you got some value from this. I will post this presentation in the group so you can have a look at it when you want and you can take more notes from it. I really hope you enjoyed it. And then we'll speak soon. All right, goodbye.